I've been using the M4 MacBook Air for the past few months side by side with my M4 Mac Mini, and I've been reviewing these base model machines because Apple delivers a lot of value for the money, not only on the M4 Mac Mini, but the M4 MacBook Air. However, after using these machines for the past few months, especially the M4 Mac Mini for over 6 months now, I've wanted to make this video about my raw and honest thoughts about using specifically the M4 MacBook Air and buying the base model. It is by far the best value MacBook there is, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the best MacBook that you should buy or the best computer you should buy from Apple. And that's why I wanted to talk about this, is most reviewers, they're doing videos talking about the best value computer you could get. Most of them are not using this as their main computer, and I get it. They're channels about making content on Macs. Where my channel, if you're new here, my name's Fagien. I'm a filmmaker and content creator. I've been making videos since 2008 and got into the content creation game around 2019. And so when I do videos on this channel, it's not always talking about the best budget products, even though the M4 MacBook Air happens to be one. It's about how these products work in real world use. So that's what's gonna be today's video. It's not about a spec by spec comparison of the M4 MacBook Air against the M4 Mac Mini, but really, how well has this computer worked for me, and why am I comparing it against the M4 Mac Mini? When that's a desktop, this is a laptop. There are some differences, but let's get into it. Let's start with the MacBook Air. I picked up the base model M4 MacBook Air when it dropped because I had a great experience with the M1 version, and I was already impressed by how powerful the M4 Mac Mini has been in my setup and my workflow. I needed something more portable than the MacBook Pro, and yeah, the MacBook Air nailed it. It's light, fast, the battery life is crazy good, and when I'm out, whether I'm on location, in a hotel, or at a coffee shop, I can edit, upload, check footage, or even go live using this machine and having a camera connected to it over USB-C. That kind of portability just works, but as good as it's been, it's not perfect, and using it side by side with the M4 Mac Mini really showed me where it falls short. Let's talk about the big compromises. First, the 13-inch screen. If you're doing creative work, editing, grading, streaming, multitasking, the screen is just small. I can't sugarcoat that. And if it was my only machine, I would either need to plug it into a monitor when I'm in a desktop situation, or if you're in a situation where you just can't use external displays and you need the laptop to be your only computer using its built-in monitor as your only display, I would seriously consider getting a 15-inch MacBook Air just because the screen does make a big difference, especially if you're doing creative type work. Now, if this is going to be an everyday machine for you and you're kind of a casual user, you may not mind the 13-inch display, but if you're editing videos, doing any kind of major video creative production, the bigger screen does make a difference. Second is only using 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports. Once I plug in an SSD and a memory card reader, I'm maxed out. No HDMI, no Ethernet, dongle life is real here. Third is going to be the 256 gigabytes of internal storage. It's just not enough. And that's why I have an SSD pretty much plugged into my M4 MacBook Air at all times. It hasn't been quite a deal breaker, but the fact that the one that I use covers the ports, I really can only have that plugged in and use the MacBook Air portably, or I have to use a different type of SSD so I can clear up the ports. It's been an issue, and you're basically glued to using an external SSD if you're doing any type of creative work, dealing with large files, and buying the base model M4 MacBook Air. Now, of course, in times like these, the price differentiation between the M4 MacBook Air and the M4 Mac Mini, it's hard to choose one because, at least at the time of making this video, you could buy the base model M4 MacBook Air for $850, where the M4 Mac Mini is right now, you can maybe get it for around $550, $560, but even at $599, the M4 Mac Mini is still the best value Mac period in 2025. It's faster than the Air in sustained performance, it has 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports, built-in HDMI, Ethernet, it's ready to go for any pro workflow. And then here's the big thing, you can upgrade the internal storage. It's not official from Apple, you do have to buy third-party SSDs. However, it does heavily increase the value of the M4 Mac Mini. I got the 2TB SSD, I've been using it for over 3 months now. I've had no issues with mine personally, and I'll put a link to the description below if you're interested in the one that I'm using. but it heavily increased the value of my M4 Mac Mini. I basically have the same version that you pay $1,400 for, and I noticed overall the experience of using the M4 Mac Mini once I upgraded my internal storage has increased a lot because I am no longer memory managing at all. Although I do still use an external SSD most of the time with my M4 Mac Mini, it's really more so I can just share the files between my multiple Mac computers. But of course, the trade-off with the M4 Mac Mini is it's really not meant to be portable. It is a desktop machine. Now, for my use cases, I was using a MacBook Pro from when I first got into Macs in 2008 up until 2020 when I got the 27-inch iMac. The reason I moved to the iMac in 2020 was I started using my MacBook Pro as a desktop with external monitors in around 2017. So I was no longer really using it that much on the go other than when traveling as a laptop itself. And that's part of the reason I got the M1 MacBook Air, and I used that as my travel computer and then had a desktop computer. And now again, I'm trying the M4 MacBook Air right here because it is great for traveling, especially for the price you pay for this and the performance you get. But as you can kind of see through this video, it's not always about performance. It's about other features that the machine have that could make or break your workflow. If you need one computer to do everything and you don't want to rely on an external monitor, I wouldn't get the base MacBook Air. I would go for the 15-inch or step up to a MacBook Pro. If you're going to be at a desk most of the time anyways, then I'd skip the laptop and go for the Mac Mini and pair it with a great monitor. You'll save money, gain flexibility, and get better performance for creative work. But if you already have a desktop like the Mac Mini, or you're just looking for a travel machine, then the M4 MacBook Air is still hands down the best portable Mac for the money. For me, the M4 Mac Mini and the MacBook Air complement each other perfectly. I have a desktop machine, a travel laptop, and the price I paid for both of them is less than buying an M4 Pro MacBook Pro. If budget was not an option and I was just choosing a computer that I use the most currently, I would choose the M4 Mac Mini. I have it on a 3-monitor display. I'm using a 24, a 27, and a 32-inch monitor. I get way more use out of that setup than I get with even my M3 Pro MacBook Pro. And that's what I liked about having the iMac. But crazy enough, this M4 Mac Mini has better specs than that 2025K iMac I got. It was Intel, but having the 27-inch screen that was 5K really did make a difference. Now I'm all on 4K stuff. I've covered a lot of my workflow in my 6 months with the Mac Mini video, so I'll leave a link to that in the description below. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you have any questions, anything I didn't go over, let me know in the comments below. And if you got knowledge and value out of today's video, please make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell to keep up to date with the latest videos from the channel. Until next time, my name is Fagien. Thank you for joining me as always, and I will catch you in the next video.